Hey everyone, Josh here with a close-up look at a Star Wars toy. And today we're going to unbox the AT-AT driver from the Black Series line. But before we get him out of here, let's just real quick, let's take a look at the box. And for those of you keeping track at home, he's number 31 in the red and black boxes. But real quick, I just want to read the character description here for you guys. AT-AT driver. The Empire's combat drivers are trained to handle everything in the Imperial ground arsenal. But AT-AT drivers see themselves as elite, controlling their massive four-footed assault vehicles in combat against the rebel targets. Alright, so that's kind of a job description of what these guys do. They're the drivers of the AT-ATs, and I know there's a debate out there in the Star Wars community. I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this guy loose. Do you call them AT-ATs or do you call them AT-ATs? I'm kind of indifferent about that. I use both terminology whenever I'm talking about them or chatting with other fans. I guess it's just your kind of personal preference. It doesn't bother me either way that you want to, whichever term you want to use. I remember back in the 80s, we used to call them, me and all my friends, we called them AT-ATs. And I'm going to go ahead and pop the blaster out of here. And here, since I've been online the past several years, I do see other people calling them AT-ATs. But either way, whatever you want to call it. But let's go ahead and look at this figure. And before we get too far into him, I just want to show you guys, there is another variant of him you can buy. And I picked this thing up a while back, and you can get him on the, and it's not framing up real good here, but this is the 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back, and you can see they got him on like the retro style card. And you know, there isn't, I've kind of looked at it through the package. I don't see any massive differences. They actually, just some of the colored variations on the buttons you can see on the one we just opened, it looks, I don't know, they're pretty identical. I'm just trying to see if there's any massive differences. I thought I saw some color differences in the buttons on his chest, but now that I'm looking more closely, it doesn't appear that way. But just if you wanted to get a more fancy version of him, there is a different version of him in different packaging. But again, just looking through the boxes is best I can see, it appears that they're pretty much identical figures. But there you go. You can see, and me personally, this has always been one of my favorite versions of a trooper helmet. I just think it's a really cool looking design. And it's just, since it's been around since The Empire Strikes Back, is something I enjoyed since I was a kid. But all right, so we're going to go through and start looking at this guy and looking at his articulation and seeing what he does. But let's start here at the head and kind of, obviously we can't get full head rotation because of the hosing, but it does feel like it's on a ball joint, so that's very good. And that's about it at the head. And then coming up here at the shoulder, you should have up and down, and you can see they put some flexibility in the shoulder plate, so it goes over the chest armor here. And then you should have full rotation. At the elbow, you should have rotation up and down. At the wrist, you should have rotation and back and forth. And then, okay, so you do have torso rotation, and okay, very cool. So they put it so it's under his little plate armor here, and I was kind of worried that this strapping that comes down was going to get tangled, but they have it so it doesn't tangle up, so that's very good. And then coming down here to his legs, you should have backwards, and that's about all you're getting. Forward, looking good. You have a rotation at the upper leg here. And then down at the knee, back and forth, and then you should have a rotation and a back and forth at the ankle. Okay, so pretty standard stuff for this guy. And then real quick, let's kind of want to take a look at his hand sculpts, and then you can see that one's just kind of his left hand is just kind of the open fist, and then you have the trigger finger that's out. So, all right. And one of the things I'm kind of looking at, I'm kind of interested in, is these hoses on his helmets. I'm just kind of seeing if you can remove them or anything. It does not appear to be so. So, all right. And I'm just kind of, now that I'm fiddling with it, I'm just trying to see if the chest apparatus comes off, but no, it does not. That's all he has. Then, of course, we have the Imperial Blaster that he comes with. And only other than the little gray highlights you have where the shells eject. That's all I really see that's kind of special about that thing. So let's go ahead and put it in his hand. And I'm already liking what I see in the trigger finger engagement. Very good looking. That's what we want to see. And then, yeah, so... Yep, got a good grip on it. It's a little wiggly. It's not the tightest one I've ever seen. And then, of course, you can... Now, this is a tight grip. Okay. So, and then, of course, you can put it in the other one. That actually looks pretty good. Sometimes when you put it in the hand, it's not designed to be in. It doesn't always look the greatest, but it looks pretty good. It looks natural. It's sitting straight. So, all right. Very cool. So, now... Not a lot to this figure, one accessory, and then, of course, we want to check how he stands, and I don't think this is going to be a problem with this guy, because, as you can see, he's got really big, like, snow boots on, so, alright, so, you want a real challenge for Hasbro. How about we make a, to scale, AT-AT, or AT-AT, that this guy can get into. That's, I'm calling you out, Hasbro. I want to see a full size for the 6-inch figures, AT-AT. But alright guys, so I just wanted to double check, make sure this figure can stand without any extra stands, and he does just fine. He looks like he's leaning a little to the left though. Or to my right. Alright, very good. Alright everyone, there he is. This is the AT-AT or AT-AT driver, depending on your terminology, from the Black Series line. And thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the videos. And if you are, give us a like, give us a subscribe. It really helps out. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.